What's 2019 look like for you? What are your plans? What are your goals? Do you have a plan? It's something we all need to have, and we need to know where we're going and what we're gonna do. Now, I have a lot of goals for 2019, a lot of plans, a lot of things that I really want to do, a lot of things I want to get off my plate, and I need to start planning for that now. Today is New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's to everybody, and 2019 is tomorrow, and it's going to come quick. The start of the season is going to come quick, and like any business, you need to have a plan, especially in this business where seasons start, seasons end. You need to know what you're going to do and where you want to go. Now, my idea of having a good plan is, what are the main topics? I need to prioritize. I need to know where I want to be in 2019 and, you know, what I expect out of my business, what I'm going to put into it, and what my business is going to give back to me. My biggest thing is I need to reduce as much debt as I possibly can. Now, last year, October 26th of 2017, I ordered the Walker B from the factory, and I financed it. I put $1,000 down, which left me right around $7,200, $7,300 I had to pay off on that mower. Now, I knew I was going to be putting upgrades into that mower, so I knew that was going to increase, you know, where I was starting off the year and my overhead, how much debt that I had. Now, since I went back to being a solo operator, that reduced a lot of my overhead right off the bat, so it left me more income to pay off things I need to pay off. So when I financed through Sheffield, my first payment wasn't due until April 1st of 2018. And what I did is I just kept dumping money on that mower all summer long to get it paid off as quick as possible. And I paid the last payment on it right before I left for GIE, like October 10th or something. So in under a year, I paid off that entire mower, which left me with no debt as far as that mower goes. But I also went and I bought a brand new Western plow, which was right around $5,000, and I paid cash for that so I wouldn't have the debt. But I did buy the truck, and the truck was $12,000 roughly, a little over $12,000, and I financed that. But then I turned around when I got back from GIE and I ordered a new mower, which is the Right Stander X Sport that all you guys know about. So that left me going into this winter with some debt. And what I did was, at the end of the season, with all the fall cleanup money, I took a bunch of that money and I dumped it on the account for the truck and the Right Stander. Therefore, the banks would just draft out of that money all winter long, so I wouldn't have to worry about those payments all winter. But now going into 2018, I want to pay those down as quick as I possibly can. So my goal is to get both of those paid off this coming summer, and if I can't get both of those paid off, to at least get them dropped way down. I have no intentions of buying any more equipment this summer. I have everything I need. Now, on that note, I need to know what I'm going to keep as far as mowers. I have the Right Stander X Sport that I just bought. The Ferris 61-inch Walkbehind. I have the Great Dane Super Surfer 2 with the 52 side discharge. The Walker MTGHS, which is right behind me. I have the Walker B with the 56 side discharge. That's a lot of mowers, and I've always been a big proponent of, if the mowers are paid off and they don't owe you anything, keep them as backups. You know, they don't owe me anything, all they can do is make me money, and it's good to have some backups. That being said, the 61-inch Ferris Walkbehind, I keep that mower for one property. One property, as you guys know, the one I have with the big incline. And the last month and a half to 2 months of this season, I mowed that hill with the Toro Timemaster 30, which I also have. And I wanted to see how bad it would be. Turns out it wasn't that bad at all. In the heat of summer, you know, it's not going to be the greatest thing in the world, but it's very manageable, very doable. So going into this year, I'm going to clean up that mower and I'm going to sell the Ferris. So that takes out that mower. The Great Dane, if I can find somewhere to store it, it could be a long-term thing because I'm really not going to use it. My plan is to run the 2 walkers. My main setup going into the beginning of the season for spring cutting is going to be the new Right Stander X and the MT. The new Right Stander X, I also ordered a 6.2 accelerator, the big jumbo one, the same one I have on the Great Dane, so I'll have that to bag if I need to, but I can also side discharge with that. And for everything else I need to do big time bagging with, I have this MT. So that'll be my main setup going into the season, and it quite frankly could be my setup for most of the season. I will run the Walker B a lot because it's just a phenomenal cutting mower, and I will definitely get a lot of use out of it. But my main 3 mowers that I'll need now are the Right Stander, this Walker, and the other Walker. So the Great Dane's going to be put on the back burner. I believe I'm going to keep it as a backup. I may even sell it. I haven't decided yet, but I think I may end up selling that mower. The Ferris is definitely going to be for sale. So my plan going into this year is to just run the mowers that I have, reduce the debt that I have, and not buy any more equipment. There's nothing else that I need right now, so I have everything I could possibly need to run my business. Now, as far as accounts go, what am I going to do based on accounts? You need to have a game plan, the type of services you're going to offer, if you're adding anything new to your business for the upcoming season, or if you're even taking things away. Some people get in too far over their head and they offer too many different things, a big variety of things. Ever since I went back solo, I focus on 2 things. Regular lawn maintenance and house washes. I do soft wash. I don't do heavy pressure washing on houses. I do maintain sidewalks, patios, decks, driveways, things like that as far as heavy pressure washing. But as far as house washing goes, I strictly do soft wash on houses. I do it the same exact way. If you ever watch, it used to be called Trimmers, now it's called Dan's Vlogs. The same way he does it. That's how I do it. So those are my 2 main things. I do a little bit of mulching, some hedge trimming, some spring and fall cleanups, but those are mainly for the customers that I have right now, not for any additional customers. When it gets into fall time and I'm done with all my regular customers, if other people call me up that aren't my current customers and I have the time, then I'll go and do those. But other than that, I focus mainly on lawn service. I do not do bi-weekly cuts, so strictly regular weekly lawn service and the house washing. All of that being said, last season I maintained on an average of 71 weekly mows. That's solo. That's humping it. That's a lot of work. You guys know my lawns. You've seen them in all my videos. My lawns in no way are small. I have a few smaller ones. Most of them are pretty decent size. So that's really humping it. I average about 15 lawns a day, except for Fridays. I keep it a little bit, I keep the list a little bit smaller. That way if I get behind during the week because of rain or for whatever reason, I have time to catch up. But I also like to do a lot of camping with my family. As you guys saw, last year we got rid of our old pop-up and we bought a 34-foot travel trailer, and so I like to use it a lot. I mean, we paid good money for it, and so I don't like to push myself to where I'm stuck mowing on the weekends. So sometimes that happens. There's nothing I can do about it, but that's a lot of lawns. I would like to be around 60, but I have a hard time saying no, as many of us do. So especially if I'm mowing one and a neighbor comes out and wants me to mow theirs and it's right next door, that's really hard to say no to. You're not moving the truck and you're just mowing another lawn, and that's where you make the bulk of your money. The less you got to drive, and you park in one spot, and the more you can hit without driving that truck, that's where you're really banking money. That's route density. That's where you're really cranking them out. So, you know, I just turned 40 October 5th of this year, and, you know, 71 lawns a week. That's a lot. At the end of the day, I am dead. I am just completely exhausted, and I love that. You know, some people, some friends and family have told me, you know, you're killing yourself, but I like that. At the end of the day, when I feel dead, when I feel exhausted, I feel like I put in a good day's work. So I'm all right with that. Now, as the season ended, I lost about 7 customers. A handful of them sold their houses. Some of them, I had 2 customers passed away. So I lost those 2 accounts, and that's it. I had 1 customer decided, I've had him for like 4 years, and their grandson moved in with them. So he's going to start maintaining the lawn. But you know, I didn't lose any on bad terms by any means, so that dropped me down from that 71. That dropped me, I think it was like 6 or 7 lawns I dropped, so it put me closer to that 60. Now 60 is where I would like to be. I'm very comfortable with that. If I do get calls for a few lawns here and there, I'll pick those up. But they're going to be, you know, at this rate when they call, I'm listing their lawn at a premium. I really don't want any more. I really don't need any more. So if I'm going to take it on, it's going to be well worth my time. If they accept, then I'll do it. You know, I'll make the time. But if they don't like my price, then, you know, no harm. I'm good to go. I'm still happy with where I'm at. So that's another thing that I need to have in order. I need to know who I'm maintaining. And, you know, come spring, usually about the end of February, our season usually starts mid-April to the beginning of May. So usually right around mid-February, end of February, I start sending out letters to all my customers, asking them if they want service again this year. So, you know, some may not. So, you know, and circumstances change. So I'll get an idea right there of where I'm going to be at for the season and how many accounts I'm going to have. So that's going to make a big difference. So I'll know where I sit come that time. So going into the new season, you need to know where you're at. You need to have a plan. Whether you're a solo guy or a big company, you need to know what you want out of your business, what you want out of your customers, price range, the services you're going to offer, the equipment you're going to run, and are you going to be in debt going into the season, or are you going to increase your debt by buying new equipment? You need to have a plan. You know, there's an old saying that's failure to plan is planning to fail, and it's true. It's very true, and I've experienced it on both ends. I have failed, I have screwed up, I have made many mistakes over the years, but in turn, what comes down to it is whether you've learned from that or whether you've repeated the mistake. And, you know, that brings to another saying, the definition of insanity, and that's doing the same thing over and over, but expecting different results. So you need to have a plan. That's my plan, to reduce as much debt as I possibly can, to get my lawns where I want them to be as far as how many I'm going to service and the quality of lawns. Some of them I am going to drop going into this year just because they're a pain in the butt. The lawn is just a pain to do. I have to chase them for money all the time, and they're just going to go. I'm done with them. I don't have time for it, and I don't want to deal with it. So that is my plan going in for the year: reduce the debt, get my customer list where I want it to be, and to make a final decision of what I'm going to do with what equipment I'm going to keep. I encourage everybody to have that plan and to have a plan in general, and just know where you're going to go and know what you're going to do. And that's about it.